Welcome to another episode of Me, My Wife, and Sports. I'm your host, Fitz, with my lovely co-host, Darcy.
Hello.
Well, it's been a lot going on in sports here over the last week or two. And where to begin? But first, I want to begin with my NCAA bracket.
That's a good place.
Yeah, which I'm still alive because I picked Connecticut to win it all. But the rest of it, I don't know.
I was trying to say, how are you still alive? But okay.
The question is, are you? Because I don't think, what was it, McNeese or somebody you picked?
I did not pick McNeese. Okay.
Houston.
I had Houston. Thank you very much. I am a true blue Texan, and I had Houston.
And we see where they're at right now.
They're sitting at home watching with me.
So I still have, again, Connecticut alive. I know you also picked, I think, North Carolina for your Final Four, Duke or somebody like that.
Yeah, I don't even know who I picked because my bracket is busted. All four of them are busted. So I don't know anymore.
Wow. So I still have a chance.
It's irrelevant at this point. I had Tennessee, Iowa, Houston. I can't remember who my fourth person was, team that I picked. But yeah, none of them are alive in the game. So
all the games were great, I thought.
Yeah, they were good games.
Kept it exciting.
It's exciting. And North Carolina State, kudos.
North Carolina State, though, remember I said that early on.
I don't remember. I'm going to have to go back and listen to the tape.
Yes, please.
Play the tape, y'all. Run the tape.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't remember you saying that, but it's easy to jump on the bandwagon now. So
yeah, right. All you listeners, send her email at memywifeandsports@yahoo.com to let her know that I did say that.
Yes, you did say that. Please do that.
Also, now, the great game between LSU and Iowa State.
That was a good game.
I mean, that was epic. I think they had about 12 million viewers.
That's what they said.
Which was outrageous. But that Clark girl, woof.
Caitlin.
She has a radar.
Caitlin Clark is good. But since you mentioned Caitlin Clark, after having a conversation with one of our listeners, I feel like I have to make a statement that was brought to my attention. Caitlin Clark is a very good player, and kudos to her for everything that she has accomplished in her collegiate career. But I will be remiss in my responsibilities as a female announcer if I fail to mention that Pearl Moore, who is the woman, African-American female, who currently holds and owns the record for all-time women's college basketball scoring at 4,061 points.
Wow.
A mark that Caitlin is currently chasing.
Okay, how long ago was that? Was that before the establishment of the NCAA?
Yes.
Okay.
So they are referencing Caitlin in regards to the NCAA.
Right.
But Pearl Moore holds the all-time
collegiate record. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
So we must give Pearl Moore her due. She is still alive and well in Florence, South Carolina.
Okay.
She has come out on Facebook and other social media saying that she's received a lot of publicity and properly thanks Caitlin for that because a lot of people have gone back and done some research to look up her and have found this same information that I have found. But it's funny that we know that this record exists, this 4,061 point record is out there that Pearl Moore has. And a lot of people don't expect that Caitlin will reach that this year. But in watching the LSU and Iowa game, you and I were saying to each other, why is Caitlin still in the game at 20 seconds? Right? Remember?
Right.
Well, that's why Caitlin's still in the game. Caitlin's in the game trying to get
that record,
all the points that she can get.
Yeah.
So
good point. Well,
but not taking anything away from Caitlin, but giving everybody their due. And Miss Pearl Moore sure surely deserves her due as well.
Yes, yes. Well, also, too, Angel Reese has announced that she's going to enter the WNBA draft this year.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll see more of her as well as Caitlin.
Well, Caitlin hasn't made a decision about the WNBA versus the Big Three, right?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay, so that's still out there as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We will see. We will see. Speaking of basketball, I'm not sure if you knew that the Hornets coach is stepping down.
Who is the Hornets coach?
At the end of the season.
What's the name?
Steve Clifford.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because last year, I want to say around August of 2023, Michael Jordan sold his majority of the team. And, with new ownership, changes are being made. But the good thing about Clifford stepping down is that he's going to remain with the organization in a front office capacity. So it's going to be opening out there for somebody. We'll see.
Lot of things happening with coaches across all sports. So stay tuned. That might be
right.
a topic.
Right. And since we're talking about the NBA, and, I'm a big basketball fan, Vince Carter and Chauncey Billups are going to be inducted to the Basketball Hall of Fame. And they're going to announce that as well as the other inductees, I think, at the Final Four of the NCAA tournament.
So do they go in with a team like football players do?
Right. Yes. They'll pick a team, which I'm not sure who Vince... Oh, Raptors. I think he might go in with the Raptors.
Okay.
Because he was with them and Chauncey was with Detroit.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. So that'd be
good
great.
For them. Congratulations.
Because I tell you, they called Vince Carter Air Canada because this guy, of his dunking ability, he dunked over, literally jumped over, I believe the guy was 7 feet.
Wow.
He jumped
in a game?
In a game. He literally straddled over the guy. And I think it's footage out there on that.
I was going to say that.
I'll try to see if I can dig it up and post it to our Facebook page as well. But I just thought that was amazing. And it's well-deserved.
Well-deserved. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, one of the big hot topics in sports that's sort of trending right now is the trade with Diggs from Buffalo.
Hot off the press.
Yes.
Hot off the press.
To Houston, of all teams.
Stephon, we need you. We needed you.
Now.
And we got your brother. Come on now. You're down the road. He getting close.
Oh.
He getting close to Dallas.
Right?
He getting close to Dallas.
If Dak maybe take a little pay cut, maybe we could have gotten
right. Or maybe he's waiting for Dak to leave because Stephen A. said where Stephon goes, quarterbacks get better.
Right.
So, maybe Stephon got some issues with attaching his name to Dak Prescott. So maybe he's waiting for the Cowboys to get a new quarterback and then he'll come. I don't know. I'm just saying.
And I'm not taking anything from Dak. He's a good seasoned quarterback. But once you get into the playoffs and all that, it's like a different person.
It's like I was told by Mr. Jones a conversation.
So all you know, on Darcy's birthday last year, Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, called her, and they had a rather
personal
lengthy conversation.
Yes, we did.
And through some connections, I was able to get Mr. Jones to call and wish her a happy birthday.
So yes, I am a fan of Mr. Jones. I take that very seriously. There will be no Jerry Jones bashing on this podcast. Having said that, Mr. Jones said, until Dak gets us to the promised land, that's what we need him to do. So that's what we're waiting to see. And I think that's been made pretty obvious with the stalemate in his contract talks. Like, we're going to leave everything as it is and see what happens this year.
And then he did restructure the upcoming season about to free up, I think, about $4 million, which we had discussed before.
He's going to free up a lot as time goes on if he don't get us to where we need to be. So he's going to keep having it because the offers aren't coming.
True. But you know what? Somebody will pick them up
Oh,
if we release them
they will.
tomorrow or any other day, because that's the key, is getting those quarterbacks on your team. Like, for example, the Steelers. I think they're in an excellent position with Fields and Russell Wilson.
Oh, my goodness. Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I'm still impressed with Justin. Like I said it before, I'll say it again. Justin threw the ball, ran, and caught it himself. I mean, I don't know. He should be in the Hall of Fame just for that on his own. So, yes, he's two very talented athletes.
Exactly.
With the Steelers right now. So,
but I tell you, the amount of money, trades, and everything to get Diggs, woof.
Yeah, it was a lot. A lot went into that. I mean, so much so that I don't even remember the depth of what they were saying was involved in that. The Bills gave a lot.
Yes.
But it was no secret that Stefan was really not happy.
And what was that? Do you know?
I think he just felt there were times when he wasn't getting the ball.
Okay.
He wasn't getting the ball. And so I think, and they keep missing the mark. They falling short.
Right. Okay. Now, what do you think about, since we're in the football arena, Josh Dobbs?
He's with
the 49ers.
He's with the 49ers.
Yeah.
He's the backup.
Correct.
Solid backup.
I agree.
I think he did well when he was with Minnesota.
That's why, the
Vikings, yeah.
And that's why I found this kind of strange.
Very educated, very smart man.
That they got rid of him, because he did well while he was in.
Yes.
He didn't falter no more than any other quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but another smart move by Kyle Shanahan.
Right.
And that team out there, solid. And then of course we can't go without mentioning the whole Rashid Rice incident of the Kansas City wide receiver that was drag racing in Dallas in his rented Lamborghini.
Was it proven he was there?
Yes.
Okay, because I know there was question whether he was actually there doing the racing. They said he was there, but was he dragging?
Yes, and so he came out and said that I sincerely apologize to everyone impacted in Saturday's accident.
Wow.
And he was leasing a Lamborghini Sport Utility and racing a Chevrolet Corvette. And the issue is that really speaks to this young man's character is that they all left the scene before finding out if anyone was hurt and needed medical attention.
So who actually, his car ran into the crowd, or?
I don't know. They were on the highway. And lost control of their vehicles. And they ran, and they must have jumped out of these vehicles and just ran.
Which is crazy.
And they left without determining if anyone needed medical attention or providing their information.
Which is kind of funny, especially if you rented the car. It's going to come back to you.
Don't you know they know who you are? Because surely, I mean, maybe your friends could afford it, but if they could afford it, it would have been in their names.
Right. Well, maybe he's not the sharpest tool.
But you don't have anything better to do with your time than to be drag racing in Texas.
Right.
We always say, know the laws of the state and the city for which you're going to be traveling to and moving about within. Because that was probably the last place that he needed to have any kind of legal trouble in.
Right.
Was the state of Texas, which is very law enforcement friendly and not so much to the public.
Right.
They're going to side with the law enforcement person.
Right.
So that was a huge mistake. And then to leave the scene. So even if there was an accident,
well, that's why there was an issue.
Yeah, you left the scene. So you didn't care enough about the welfare of these innocent people going about their day, their normal day, to stay and say, let me help you, call 911. If nothing else, call 911 and report the accident.
Right.
It just speaks to his character. But all you Chiefs fans, hey, don't feel bad. Every team has one. Y'all just had a couple of them. From the coach's son, now you got this guy. You know, got rid of.
Didn't they trade one?
Traded one to Kareem Hunt. Traded them off.
Right.
And so,
right.
You seem to have a little bit more than your fair share. But
the Cowboys back in the day had their issues. Well,
but that's because Jerry picked out bad boys. Like he just had this thing.
Well, the one that stands out to me was the one, I think he was a cornerback. Pac-Man, because I remember distinctly reading an article where he was assigned a bodyguard and he got in a fight with his bodyguard.
Right.
So it's like, come on, dude.
So that's a very unfortunate situation. Hopefully everyone involved was not seriously injured.
Right.
And now that the authorities are involved, they will be handling that and addressing that accordingly.
Well, we will see. We will see. And I see the Commanders signed a former Steelers linebacker. So hopefully they're trying to beef up their defense. And I'm trying to think what the guy's name was. Michael Walker, Mykal, or Michael or Michael Walker. So we'll see how well he helps out the Commanders' defense, which at one point in time, their defense was pretty good. Because if I'm not mistaken, isn't Mariota their quarterback?
Marcus Mariota?
Yeah.
For the Redskins? I mean, for the Commanders, I'm sorry.
Yes.
No.
Who is their quarterback?
I don't know. I don't think it's Mariota.
Well, we know they're going to draft one since they have, the second pick? Or you think they won't?
Let's see. Who is their quarterback? Let's see if we can.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota.
They picked up him?
Because they're saying that he'll be the first quarterback to wear number 0.
So he was backup. Well, he might have started in, where's he coming from? He was in Atlanta.
Right. Did he,
and then I think he started and then they benched him and then.
Because he started off, I think, Tennessee?
Yeah, he started in Tennessee way back when.
Yeah. And then Vegas, I think he was backing up Derek Carr at the time.
But right now, where is he coming from to the Commanders?
I do not know.
It doesn't say?
I do not know.
Okay.
I have to look that up.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's probably about time for Marcus to retire.
Yes, he's been around for a bit. I wonder what made him want to wear 0. That's
because he has 0 championships.
Well, a lot of people need to wear 0.
I don't know.
But, ever since they opened up
in the NFL,
the numbers for some of the players been putting on
crazy numbers. Yeah. I don't know. Wow. That I'm thinking the last information of any substance that I learned about Mariota was watching that Netflix.
Right.
The quarterback series.
What was the name of that again?
Quarterbacks.
Oh, quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Because they're getting ready to do a wide receiver.
The wide receiver. Yeah.
Right.
So that's interesting. I didn't realize that because Sam Howell is gone. Where is Sam Howell?
I think he went to, where did he go? Was it the Panthers maybe? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I really don't pay any attention.
Only one I know that went somewhere because he was upset was the Steelers' old quarterback who went to the Eagles.
Right. Backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which he probably could have stayed with the Steelers as a backup.
Exactly. So he just shot himself in the foot.
Well, I guess too, he saw Wilson was coming and then also the writing on the wall with Fields. So he would probably been third string. Who knows if he wanted to stay that far down. Now, you have the Masters coming up here.
The Masters is in 1 week. 1 week away.
And
men's professional golf.
We know who's the favorite.
Who's the favorite?
The gentleman we talked about last week.
Scheffler?
That's right. That's right. They said he's a favorite. But, it's just like anything else. You put all the pressure in saying this person's a favorite, and then it turned out to be a bust, and some no-name or somebody
right.
they weren't thinking comes out of the woodworks. Now, Tiger, is he planning on playing in the Masters?
I don't think so.
Okay.
There's been no talk. I think if Tiger was playing, they would really be advertising that a lot more than what they are.
Yeah, because this starts here this week.
12 and 13. No, that's the final is the 12 and 13. I think it starts Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah,
yes.
Thursday.
Yeah. We will see, as you know, too, with, who is it? McIlroy. He's also, I think, in the running of possibly winning it. Rory?
Yes, Rory McIlroy.
Yep. And Jordan Spieth, he's actually pretty good. I remember seeing him before playing, and I kind of like him.
So Rory, which I should know that name. I got a cousin named Rory.
Right.
Is this will be his 10th attempt to complete the career Grand Slam.
Oh, wow.
So I guess if he wins the Masters, he will have completed the Grand Slam, which I don't think that happens as much as they talk about it.
Right. Well, he's a 4-time major champion, so not too many players can say that as well.
I think Tiger is still working with Charlie, his son, which is probably a good thing. Spend that time.
Because I think Rory also is ranked number 2 behind Scheffler. So it's going to be interesting, and we'll definitely have to keep our eye on it and talk about it moving forward.
Golf can be very fun to watch as it gets closer to the end and you have the final players.
Oh, definitely.
And even though they play it every year in Augusta, that course plays differently every time. So weather, conditions, the rain, all of that plays into how well the players will play on that course. And even though some of them have played it several times, it always plays differently. So that makes it very fun to watch. I enjoy watching golf.
Definitely. And also, folks need to tune in to the NBA playoffs because the playoff picture is shaping up pretty good. So it should be exciting. More to come on that because a few teams are sort of on the bubble fighting for their existence to make it. Who knows? The Cavs may make a playoff run.
Who?
The Cavs. Cleveland Cavalier.
Cleveland.
But we will see. Well, before we go, I just want to say again that our brackets are busted for the most part, except for mine, which I have Connecticut winning.
How many times you want to mention
Not Connecticut, I'm sorry. Ooh, not Connecticut, no. I do have.
Yeah, you do have Connecticut. You were thinking North Carolina State.
You're right, right. Because that's my...
See how he ditched y'all already, North Carolina State? First it was, I picked North Carolina State. Then
that's my Cinderella.
Okay.
That was my Cinderella from the beginning. To be honest with you, I didn't think North Carolina State would have made it to the Elite Eight.
But then it can't be your Cinderella. I keep telling you this. If it's your Cinderella, you take them all the way. That's the whole point. Cinderella goes to the dance. She dances at the dance. She gets the guy. Then she leaves.
Well, they are dancing at the dance, but she doesn't get the prize because she runs away and leaves her shoe. So she doesn't get it. But, I didn't expect them to get this far, but I did expect them to go beyond what was expected through the odd makers.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say, too, is that they should, we talked about how they had not televised the women. They were on the same days as the men. And they really should have had the women's games on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Right.
They would have drawn the viewing audience.
Definitely.
And made the money for the NCAA and the networks. There was absolutely no reason to have the women playing on the same days as the men were playing because they're competing for that time.
Right. Especially now that women's basketball has risen to a higher level. The playability by the females is way better than some Division I men's team.
It is. It absolutely is. And who is that? Shaquille O'Neal said that. A lot of the announcers have come out and said they're playing way better ball than the men are playing.
Well, also, too, you have to realize, I think Shaquille was saying that, too, because the women were more fundamentally sound. I mean, granted, everybody's shooting the three, and that's just the way the game has transitioned to now. But if you look at the women's game, they play a lot on the inside, pick and rolls, cutting to the basket, screening. And if you look at a lot of the males who are playing,
it's like individual basketball.
Yeah, and everybody's lined up around the three. They're doing a motion, but the motion is above the elbow or the foul line, and nothing is inside or close to the paint. And I get it.
Shaquille said it's just a better game. It's just more competitive. The women.
Right.
That's what he said about the women playing basketball. So, yeah, I thought that was something that it's not the days of old where
Correct.
People aren't paying attention to women's basketball. That's just not what it was.
And the players are just better and more sound with their attributes, because I remember a time when you see the females dribbling down the court and it wasn't as smooth. Now they're coming down between their legs, spinning and doing the things the guys are doing.
Right. And then the other thing that I was going to share with our audience and our listeners out there is the difference between is being intentional with your learning about your sport. If there's a difference between being a fan and a spectator.
Right.
A spectator is someone who observes an event for entertainment purposes only. And if you're a spectator, then that's fine. But if you're a fan, I think we are fans.
Correct.
And the fan abbreviation is derived from the word fanatic. A fan understands the loyalty to a team. There's a connection with the team.
Right.
They understand that sports don't build character, they reveal character.
Right.
So I challenge everybody out there to be intentional over passive with your learning about sports, whether it's your favorite sport or just sports in general.
Right.
And we've shared some of the things that we have done, some of the videos that we've done. And so I just want to keep people engaged and keep you excited about sports through learning.
Right. Right.
And of course, listening to Me, My Wife, and Sports. Hopefully, you take away a nugget every time you listen to this podcast.
Right.
But, there are a couple other documentaries that are out there that we've shared about Wrexham, which is about soccer. There's The Last Dance, which is about Michael Jordan and the basketball. One I have to watch myself. I have not watched, but I will watch it. There's also one out there called Athlete A. And this is like a true crime video, but it's about the gymnastics team abuse that the young girls went through. And so there are all kinds of videos out there about different things that are happening in sports. There's one about Russian athletes where the filmmaker went to learn about the way a Russian team was doing things and decided to do a documentary on the way the team was doing things, the Russian medicine in the way the Russians were using medicine in their sports, and ended up doing a documentary on it. And then the person in the documentary is now living in the witness protection program. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's one about Russian athletes out there, Russian Olympic athletes. I'm not sure of the name, but that's out there. So there are all kinds of things out there that can spark your interest,
right,
depending upon what your interests are, and keep you current and keep you up on what's going on in sports. Because there's so much more if you're a fan than just what you see on the screen. If you're a spectator and it's just entertainment, that's fine. But if you're a fan, then there's a lot of behind the scenes that you might want to know and understand and have a grip on when you're talking sports with your family and friends.
And also, too, I want to remind listeners that, especially in the collegiate level, these are a lot of young folks that are playing sports. And I know with social media and everything going on, they get a lot of complaints or threats or criticism. And it's one thing to be a true fan or a fanatic of the game, but remember that women, men, young women, young men, they all are human as well. So,
and they have feelings and emotions. And
so be careful with your words and your comments. And I get it. You want to criticize maybe their play or something. There's a proper way to do it. And if a certain team and a certain player dominates your team that you're rooting for, you don't need to send hate mail or make hate videos about that person just because they beat your team or dominated your team. Keep it classy, folks. And if you see somebody doing it, address it.
Absolutely.
That's my 2 minutes on the soapbox about fans and the sports.
All right.
All right. With that said, I want to thank everybody for listening. And Darcy, do you have any parting words for us?
Have a great day. Thank you for listening. And as always, remember your mate is a reflection of you.